Hello, my sexy little babies. HVAC babies. I love you. Actually, let's start again and let's not say sexy babies. That's fucking weird. Wake up. What's wrong with you? What's up, my HVAC babies? Another day. Yesterday was short. Today's also going to be short, work-wise, because I have an interview today that I have to go to, be there by 2, and I put myself off on the board at 12 today. Ooh, I need some gas. Let me double check here. Believe it's a no cool. Better not be a gosh damn drain line. AC isn't working. Okay, so I guess just a no cool. Could be anything though. Feeling cute. Yesterday I noticed in the ride-along video, or when I was on the actual call, the camera angle wasn't right on my little head mount. And please forgive me, I woke up late and I'm very tired right now. Camera wasn't right, so I'll be better with the preview and I'll angle it down more. I learned my lesson because I thought it was angled down enough yesterday, but I had someone walking around with me, just talking to me about nonsense, constantly trying to tell me that he knows what he's doing in air conditioning, but he, calls it subheat and super cool, like, okay. So, anyway, today will be better camera angle wise. I'll do my best to make it better. We'll see you on the call. Okay, I'm starting outside because our issue inside is that our condensing units keep shutting off. Typically I start at the air handler, but right now air handler's running. I checked the float switches, all that good stuff, on both of these units, I mean, and didn't run into any problem with that. So that shouldn't be holding it off, but who knows, because they're both doing the same thing here, it appears. This one has a top that's been, looks like, removed a couple times. Might just be this little panel here not sitting correctly. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on. Get out of here, lizard. Out of here. I don't want to squish you. Alright, so we're obviously not getting a condenser fan motor. Let me see what I have here. It's trying to run, and we just had a storm come through here, so this could be a number of things. Is this skinny enough? No. Skinny enough. Can my lead make it to that? Maybe. Let's see if she's locked up. Okay. Hopefully that's just that seems like a capacitor to me, which I haven't had one of these calls in a long time. Make sure there's no little scary guys in there grounding out or something. Grounding out my butt. Let's go. Alright, so even though we know we disconnected that, we're going to check and make sure nothing's bypassed, right? Okay. We know that's our incoming voltage. Alright, both legs are dead. For now. Lost my needle nose, and that's not my favorite thing in the world. So let's see. Just remember when you do this, just memorize one color between these two. I know that yellow is common, so just memorize yellow being common. And then the blue goes obviously on Herm. 67. Okay. Just for kicks and gigs, let's take the fan off. I'm going to test this again. Okay, that did not affect the reading. Maybe the compressor's going off on thermal. Oh, that's it, because we don't have a condenser fan running. So I'm just going to put this bad boy back. Right here. Put this bad boy back. And we're going to see if we have a 70 plus 5 microfarad. I don't think we do, but we are going to go check. Okay, so I can't really record inside because it's an investment company and they don't want me to do that. So that's fine. Let's see, make sure that was a 75, yep. 75, 70 plus 5. Okay, Trade Pro, I'm not a fan of those, but that's all we got in that size. Oh, my destination's on the right. If you're new, one thing you can do is just take a picture of where the wires went. Yellow common, blue Herm, easy enough for me to remember, so I don't have to do that. Common is going to have 4, usually. It's going to have 4 on the capacitor. Herm is usually going to have 3 prongs. And fan is going to have 1 or 2. I've seen both like that. I've also seen a capacitor, can't remember what kind it was, but one that had 4 for all pegs. Or all, not pegs. Oh shoot. I seem to have dropped my little screw. Okay, that should hold it to where it's not gonna arc. Okay, let's see. This. Okay. Now, that compressor's out on thermal overload, I can guarantee her, but we're gonna check. So let's get all this rigmarole off. And I'll see you guys once I have that off. So we've got this off, and I've already tested to make sure there was no leg bypassed or anything in that disconnect, so we know we're good. I've got the disconnect out, and this compressor is so hot, if you kept your hand there for more than a couple seconds, you'd actually burn your hand. So we know that we're out on thermal right now, and if we test the windings, you're going to have an open winding as a protection. I'm going to go ahead, button this back up. There is no hose access out here. You see that up there. I don't know if you can see, but up here we have a nozzle that was already tested before. It shut off at some main, like above the ceiling in the place next door. So we don't have access to that because that place is vacant, and the property management company doesn't want to come out here and let us use that. So I doubt we're going to be able to cool this off with any water. And I lost a screw, so I'm going to have to find that. Hey, look, screw. Side note, I like destroyed it in the gym yesterday, or so I thought. I went in kind of weak, as per usual, but I didn't feel super energized, probably because I'm not eating enough calories right now. But I am like depressingly not sore at all, and I thought I just absolutely shredded myself yesterday in the gym. I don't feel as accomplished if I'm not sore, but I know that goes away over time from past experiences. Start not to get sore anymore from the gym, just start to feel tired, but it's only been 2 weeks right now, and it's probably me. I probably did something wrong. I don't know. All right, let's go to this other system and see what we got going on at the thermostat. Will that be why? Right there. Their complaint wasn't keeping up yesterday. Well, they had a system down. This seems to be on there right. It's just this panel right here is not matching up. This panel's too low down. Balance seems to be fine here. The system altogether is kind of leaning down. I don't know if this panel's just pushed up too much. Yeah, this thing's kind of cattywampus there. But this one's actually running. So with that other unit inside there, let's see what tonnage this is. So this whole building is missing a 48, so it's missing a 4-ton on one half of the building. So this guy, which is, oh come on train, God I hate trains. Another 4-ton. So this 4-ton's trying to do the load of 2 4-tons, and it's just bleeding through to the other side and is losing the help of this unit, which is needed to properly cool the whole place. So I'm going to go ahead and get my Allen keys and stuff, and I'm going to just check pressures on the system real fast. I can't really record inside, but I'm going to check the filters. I know they just did maintenance here, but I'm going to check the filters and the EVAPs, and then I'll record when I come back outside. Okay, I checked filters and EVAPs. Hopefully that didn't mess up the recording. I checked the filters and the EVAPs inside. Everything's looking good. They just did maintenance, so luckily they did the maintenance properly, it seems. This one's not rounded. It's not rounded out. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we're doing pressures wise. I'm going to advise the customer that it's going to take a while for that compressor to load back up. Load back up like it's a piece of software. Start back up because it's off on thermal overload and we don't have water to pour over it right now. Now hopefully that condenser fan motor, which is running the correct way, is going to help draw some cooler air across the coil and across that compressor a little bit, expedite that process. Hey, we got a compressor there. I think. Yep. She just cooled off enough. I know this system's a TXV and it just started running not too long ago, so we're going to wait for this to balance out. Let me see if you guys can see the pressures when I'm looking at them. Sort of, I guess. It's very top down. So right now our subcooling is not looking very good. Our superheat's not terrible. 59-degree suction. Our VSAT, which is important to know, your vapor saturation, essentially that's going to be the temperature of your coil. So it is able to cool inside with 43-degree evaporator coil. 43 degrees is not the worst, but I'm just going to give this a little bit here and ensure that our TXV isn't just going to balance out of nowhere, or you know, roam, hunt, and give us different pressures. Okay, well, this is why you wait for the TXV to find its happy place. If you can see right now, it's hard to catch. 12 degrees subcool, 6 degrees superheat. It's above the 5 degrees right now. It's actually a little cold in there from a spot cooler, which I just had to shut off. So it's returning very cold air from a spot cooler. So our superheat's going to change a little bit. But our VSAT, 40.7, so we're at a 40-degree evaporator coil. Everything seems to be looking okay here. That subcooling right now is a little bit high, but it's, I mean, I wouldn't say high. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll check the split and everything inside. We are climbing up a little bit there, subcool-wise. But what needs to happen is this TXV, I don't know if you can see it, this TXV needs to open up a little bit, raise that head pressure, and drop down that, or raise the suction pressure and drop down the head pressure. So we're going to see if that happens for us here. Okay, we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good right now. 10 degrees superheat. Oh, I need to get a new temperature clamp. But I just calibrated those in a glass of ice the other day. So about a 10 degree superheat, 12 degree subcool right now. These are acceptable, I would say. That TXV is closing a little bit because the temperature's cold inside right now, and that's if it's confusing to you, a TXV, what it'll do if it's warm inside, that TXV is going to open. Like if you have a lot of warm air coming across the coil, and people think that, hey, it's warm, so that TXV needs to close to lower the temperature of the evaporator coil and lower the pressure. It doesn't. It does the opposite of what most people would think that it does, in order to basically not, you know, freeze the evaporator coil. So if it was super cold inside, you know, then you'd be essentially slammed shut. If you go by the logic of, you know, when it's warm, it closes, or if it's cold, then it, you know, opens. Well, then you can't cool further past whatever saturation point you're at that moment. So with this being said, this is looking pretty good. Our charge is looking great. Not worried about a leak or anything anywhere at the moment. I've checked the evaporator and the filters, checked the blower wheels while I was in there. Didn't take me very long, luckily, because they're side by side in a closet, which you gotta love. Yeah, it wasn't finding any issues in there. The airflow seemed fine. And I think we just had a bad capacitor, and then this one was satisfied because they kept it to 75. And meanwhile, this thing's been trying to keep up with, you know, an entire side of the building being down. So that's what we have right now. And I'm just going to wait it out a little bit, call it good, and then I'll see you guys in the van if I don't find anything else wrong. I'm going to check the pressures on that unit as well. But this was, I looked at the history within Service Titan, and I saw the pressures. This was about 2 days ago that they were out here after the storm for maintenance. So yeah. Oh, also I need to mention that the temperature outside is about 78 degrees right now, which is pretty much ideal for us workers, and the systems don't have to work that hard. but that keep in mind that's going to alter your pressures a little bit from what you're used to. You're not going to be at like 320 liquid, you know, on a 90-degree day, or like as you would on a 90-degree day. So you got to look at a pressure temperature chart and really get an idea of where you should be. Anyway, yeah, so this one's satisfied over there. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to double check that and go from there, check those pressures, all that good stuff. Okay, so real quick, while I was going to check these pressures, I had to make sure that the system didn't satisfy. Went to the thermostat, it was reading 74 degrees inside. The temperature setting, our set point, is 73. It's reading 74. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that we do or don't have a call, and it seems like we don't have a call right now, so I'm gonna have to go check that float switch and make sure that we're not backed up within the system. Man, this GoPro battery is really, really bad at 4K, which I guess I don't need to record it at 4K, but so far I do not recommend this GoPro. And it's the GoPro 12 Hero Black or whatever the heck. So something that was cute when I went in there was the condensate pump that they just added. One of our technicians, they didn't put a trap on the drain lines coming from the unit to the condensate pump. It's currently not causing an issue, but that is an eventuality that it will. And also they didn't wire in to the safety portion of that. They just have it plugged in to 120, and yeah, so if that thing, you know, backs up and it can't evacuate, then you have a system that's going to you know, spill water everywhere. You have 2 units running to it, by the way, so it's taking on a big load of water at all times. But right now what's happened is that thermostat inside is prematurely satisfying. I checked the settings real fast for any sort of, you know, like swing temperature setting, or you know, see if something was screwy. It's a Carrier branded White Rogers, and White Rogers are known to be issues. They have issues frequently, I should say. So it's just eliminating the call prematurely. Yeah, so from there, I'm going to recommend a new thermostat, and you know, go from there. But I'm going to check pressures here real quick, and we're going to wrap this call up. Unfortunately, I don't want to make this video too long, and my GoPro battery is literally about to die. I've recorded for I don't know how many minutes, but not long enough for the GoPro to be dying. Just kind of upsetting. Anyway, I love you, babies. I'll see you in the van when I have it plugged in. Also, a word of advice when you are putting in, or especially these Carrier ones, putting these panels back on, disconnect the power, because this can, you know, fall forward and touch the capacitor or the contactor fairly easily. So again, don't worry about looking like a wuss, just try and ensure you're not going to get shocked all to hell. All right, so we're leaving that call, and we don't really have anything else at the moment because I have an interview at 2 o'clock, so I needed to be off by 12. So what I'm going to do, it's 10:30 right now pretty much. I'm going to drive back home and you know, fill all this stuff out on this service call and get some lunch, shower, get myself over to this interview. Right now I don't have time for another call, so that's where we're at. That call in particular, I'm sorry, I'm not getting any calls that are really like rooftop units or anything right now, which is super odd. Normally that's all I'm working on, like IntelliPacks or, you know, some of the bigger units. I know a lot of you guys who are probably going to watch are interested in the commercial end. I'm working on commercial properties, but I'm not working on commercial equipment right now. It's residential splits, but you know, I guess beggars can't be choosers. This place I'm going to interview with today is essentially all chillers and all. They do well, I won't say the counties, but they do 2 different counties actually that I used to work at for another company. I used to do all these buildings and stuff, so it's a ton of chillers. Also a lot of water source heat pumps, which I hate. I can't stand those things. Most of the time it's hard to get your hands where they have to go. That's what she said, and just not my favorite. But we'll see what they offer me pay-wise, and if they can accommodate my schedule, which is kind of hard to do. I don't blame anybody if they can't, because I have to be off at 4 to pick up my children from school, so that I don't get charged an insane amount of money for aftercare, after hours is what they call it at their school. So anyway, long story short, what we found there was bad capacitor. The compressor was off on thermal overload. I did check the filters, checked the evaporator coils, checked the blower fins, and made sure the blowers were running in the correct rotation. I couldn't really record that, and that's kind of the way these calls are panning out lately, and I'm not too fond of how that is. But surely there will be calls that I'm able to do that on. But hopefully I was descriptive enough within this video for you to get the idea of exactly what was going on. You know, I got a few tips in there for the new guys. So all in all, probably not the best calls, but or best call, but I got to work with what I got. But you know, you're pretty hot. You're hot, okay? And I kind of love you a lot. And please imagine us kissing. Imagine. Okay, love you, bye.